Hello, sunshine, because that's for you.
Thank you.
And
I got my Believe in My Inspire out. I bought some new words this week, but let's get rockin'. So this is a tag that I created out of an old manila folder. So that's what my first supply thing was here, is an old folder that, you know, technically we throw them out or recycle them. I repurpose them. So I created that and used a Tim Holtz stencil as my outline and drew it on there and cut it out. And then I used the stencil to put a background on. So what I can do is, do you want to start from the beginning?
yeah, yes.
All of these tools that I have out were just helpful. If you have them, great. If you don't have them, that's fine. At any point in any time in any artwork that I do, you can create your own with whatever tools you have at hand, whatever stencils you have at hand, and they don't have to be a plastic stencil. A stencil is anything that has holes in it. It can be a piece of lace trim, ribbon, you know that stuff the turkeys come in, you know, the netting that when you buy your turkey or your chicken, that netting can be a stencil. There's so many different things I can use as stencils. I'm not restricted to this. It's just that happens to be the pattern that I like, and that's what I put on here. So if I put this on, what if I go this way? So if I put this on my manila folder, and you take a pencil, and I know this is mundane, but this tells me my barrier. Now for this tag, I did not paint the background, but if I was doing it and I wanted it to be painted, I could easily have painted it. I'm also going to use an old sponge that I cut from electronic mailing, like some things when you get it in the mail from Amazon or wherever, has these sponges in it, and it's a sheet, and I just cut them up and make little daubers out of them. I always suggest in any project to have 3 shades of any color you choose. So always have a light, a medium, and a dark value in that same color field, okay? I'm going to start with a medium value green. And here's I don't know if I can pull this in. So when you pick up the paint on your sponge, I roll it around and I pounce 3 times. This gives it a nice even coat, and it's not heavier in any one location than the other. And I'm not going to cut my tag out. I'm not going to do all my tag. And I think I used a lighter color, but I use a darker one for right now. And of course, as you see, I'm not doing the whole thing. I'm just doing bits and pieces. So I'm not covering the whole. If you want to see what you're doing, but you don't want to lose your place, hold it down on one side and look up. So that's not coming out very well. Let's do this. I took the lighter value. And I also stencil on with a deerfoot brush, and it's a deerfoot brush because it looks like a hook.
Okay, so you're using the big tag?
Yeah, I'm using my stencil.
Okay. So I did that. I cut out some. Can you see? Using the stencil. Okay.
Yeah.
And then I painted it white on one side. This is, I used, instead of a um, file folder, I used some old scrapbooking paper. So the back is the zebra thing. And this is this side. So I'm going to put my backgrounds here, over here.
Let's see what this looks like. Oh, much better.
Here, let's see.
So you can just keep placing the stencil around until you get the coverage you're looking for. Now, if you're not into doing tags, it's okay because you can do them on a wooden surface as well. To wash my stencils off, and this is silly, but if you ever, you should wash your stencils off. I just put them down, and you can take an old ratty toothbrush and you can kind of go over it. You got to be careful because some of these stencils are very delicate, and if you brush too hard, you can bend them and break them. So I'll go do that in the sink. Okay. Now, the next thing is, remember that bubble wrap I told you about? Melissa, don't throw away your bubble wrap.
Yep. You sent me something and I saved that bubble wrap.
So now we're going to take this bubble wrap and we're going to take a paintbrush and I'm going to load it with some of the light value and brush it over my bubble wrap. And depending on how much paint you leave behind will determine how dark the image will be on your piece. Turn it over and then go ahead and place it down, lift it off. Place it down, lift it off. See the bubbles? Isn't that kind of cool? I mean, there are tools like dotted stencils and Punchinella. And Punchinella looks like, pull it up here. This is Punchinella. It's what remains after they cut out the sequins. After their major, machinery die cuts out the sequins that you put on costumes and such. This is what's left over, and it's called Punchinella. So you could have put that over there, and you could use that as a stencil also. But the bubble wrap, most people have bubble wrap because they have ordered something, and it's just cheaper, I find. Easier to find, cheaper. Okay. I have also this rubber stamp, music stamp, which I think is really cool. I love anything with music on it. So I'm going to take my sponge and I'm going to pick up the dark paint, the medium value, swirl and pounce, and then I'm going to put it on here, like so. Just pounce it on here. When that's done, I flip it over and I'm going to put it on my press down. I mean, you can use an acrylic block for this, but I still have the plastic on it, so I feel pretty good about it. You can do a partial stamp. I guess I need more paint. You don't have to always use the rubber stamp in its entirety. You can use portions of it. Get the same. Go over here. There you go. Don't forget to wash that off. Acrylic paint dries fast, so you wanna.
You couldn't hear me when I was saying it. It looks like somebody stepped on mine.
Stepped on you?
Oh,
that's cool though.
Yeah, so I did just like a brown, but then I added some white to it and kind of went over it this way, so it doesn't look like somebody stepped on it. So I'm excited. This is exciting. So I'm catching up with you.
Because I'm a symmetrical person, I would suggest you put a little bit of that blue color up in the corner where the brown is.
So now you're doing a stamp. Can I put a stamp there?
With the blue? Yeah. Right now you've got brown and blue.
No, I understand. Yeah.
So yeah, if you bring some blue up there, however you want to do it, some blue up there and some brown down here, then it kind of balances your piece. Makes it harmonious.
All right, I know it's really bothering you. I'm going to get it harmonious as soon as I can. But first I want to say hello to a few people who've come in the room. Do you see?
Oh, hello.
Yeah, and we have Mom Angeles. She says she loves watching us.
Oh, thank you very much, and thank you for joining us.
And she wants to know what other projects are on the docket. So we have so many projects, but you could tell her about next week. What are we doing next week?
I would have to look because you know how my head is so. Every time Melissa and I talk, I just keep spewing out. Oh, we could do this, and we can do this, and we can do this. Okay, so is there something that you would like to see that
Good question.
that you would like to see done that you saw somewhere else that maybe inspired you, but you didn't know how to create it? Because I'm open to suggestions because I can come up with so many things. Now, were we doing the journal next week?
Oh, yes, I think that's it. Either the journal or the clipboard.
Or the canvas. Or the vision canvas with the mandala.
That's right. We were going to do that too. Oh.
So we have on the docket a 10 by 10 canvas. That's a vision canvas, which means we're going to put a mandala on it, but we're going to also do clip arts of stuff that you like the clipboard with a mandala. Yes, and with a cheerleader maybe, right? The clipboard had a cheerleader on it, Melissa?
Yes.
Sort of, kind of.
A cheerleader because I wanted to give it to my boss, who's also a cheer coach. So we were going to do a cheer theme, but you could use any theme. But I'll show you. Yeah, I'll show you different themes you can use. It doesn't have to be the cheerleader, but Melissa wanted this. So okay, so put on the docket next week. Clipboard, Melissa. Clipboard. So yeah, thank you. We're going to be using a mandala on this piece too. So it's really neat because we try to incorporate our talents, and so far I only have the one.
We're working on that. So this has, so far we have like two different kinds of colors here, two different values of color, but I'm going to pick up some of the darkest green. So you went right to the dark green, Melissa, right?
It's brown, but I have
brown. Sorry,
I have my white as you suggested, and so with the white, I can temper it to make it light brown. But I have the book pages, and I have like a world map, and it had those tones in it. So
that's exciting.
Look, I'm going to put a bicycle right here.
Awesome.
Is that going to be okay? It's just not completely.
Yes, go for it.
It's not completely dry yet, but I'm going to hold it in front of the fan.
You can always hit it with the blow dryer. Just mute yourself. But yeah, I'm going to go pick. I took a fan brush. This is a fan brush, and my darkest value green, and I diluted it with some water, making it very inky. If you can see how inky that is. Now I'm going to take a separate brush handle, and I'm going to tap it. So on a side view, I'm tapping it like this, and it's going to spit dots everywhere. So if there's anything that is sacred to you, you don't want to have dots, then you should remove it, cover it up, or do something like that, because the dots will go everywhere. So I don't know if you can see this. I'll move it up close. See all those dots it created?
Yes. And what do they call that technique? That splatter?
Spattering. Yep, spattering. Real technical.
I got these stencils, or what I thought were stencils, at Michael's yesterday, and really they're kind of like removable stickers.
Yes. Yes, I have those. Those are like for, they're really great on etching, glass etchings. So you put the stencils on the glass and then you etch those colored, that stencil.
So it actually has, it has like a screen in the center. It's not open completely.
Aha.
Weird.
That's
So anyhow, it kind of gave me a bicycle.
I see it.
And there's your blue on that side.
Yep, cool.
And then it has another one that says enjoy the ride. So I'm going to use that in the center later. This was a practice.
As far as I'm concerned, this part is done at this time. Okay.
I'm trying to catch up with you. Wait, I have
that's
to
okay. You're doing fine. This is as far as I'm going to go with this right now. Take your, if you have a stencil, circle stencil. If you don't, use the lid of a jar, any kind of container like that. You know, the Parmesan, I'm thinking like Parmesan, a 16-ounce can of vegetables. Just you go into your kitchen and you find things. I have even a Pillsbury from, can you see the Pop and Fresh guy there? The Doughboy. So this is from like a can of frosting or something like that. And so what I could do is I could put this on here and trace the circle, although this is too big for my tag. You know what I mean? You can use that as a circle.
You can use your Mod Podge lid.
Your Mod Podge lid, yep, you could use that too. So find the
splatter on here.
Huh?
Do I have enough splatter on mine?
Yeah. So I found the circle that I thought fit best on my mandala without overpowering it. I mean, sorry, on my tag without overpowering it, and it was a 2.75. So I took some, look at the difference. This is really cool. So take a copy of a dictionary page. I would do a copy of a newspaper. Newspapers might bleed. So I would do like, woohoo, you're all ready.
So we could be measured exactly.
You could do your favorite book. If you are an Alice in Wonderland fan, go take your Alice in Wonderland book and go Xerox it.
No wonder this was so expensive. There was 3 in a package.
That's cool.
Sorry. So, I get excited about these things. I'm so new to this.
This is neat.
You would hate me to be in your actual classroom because I would be talking the whole time.
We'll sit you in the back.
Yeah, you'll be like, Mrs. Reyes, I think we need to talk. Okay, so there's actual 2.75 on here. And so, yeah, that's a really good size. So you're going to, so let me see if I'm correct. Now's the time to get the book page out.
Yep, and I traced around it, and now I'm going to cut around it.
Now, I actually went through an old book that already had some pages missing and was really battered, and it was The Complete Sherlock Holmes. And I found a page that has the title, The Adventure of the Solitary Cyclist. So I am putting that together with my bicycle and enjoy the ride theme.
How fortuitous.
You know me in themes.
I love it.
Okay, so I'm going to draw my circle on where I want to cut out. Is that what I'm doing?
Yes, on the part you're going to cut out.
Okay, boss.
And this is not perfect circle, but then again, we don't live in a perfect world, do we?
Didn't you use your stencil? It should be perfect.
Yeah, but when I cut it, I don't cut perfect.
Oh.
I do have a tool that will cut me a perfect circle, but I didn't use it.
I have
So
that
see
too.
how I didn't paint a lot in this area, and it's okay because guess what? We're placing the mandala there. So it doesn't matter. It's all good.
So here's the other thing I got because I went a little crazy. I got these scissors.
I love those.
It's the most expensive pair of scissors I've ever bought.
So they also have the, whoops, sorry. They also have the longer size. It's 7-inch, I think. And these are, if anyone's not familiar with these, Tim Holt series tonic scissors. And the product that they're made of, the metal they're made out of, you can cut through adhesive tape and the tape won't stick to it. That's why I love these scissors. And they are so sharp. My girlfriend dropped her pair and landed in a carpet straight up and stood straight up.
So one thing about them is, and they do say tonic on it, this was the only size that they had. So I'm actually happy about the shortness because I have a lot of other longer scissors. Some are good, some are on their way out. But they're actually serrated. And so they have a kind of a grip. And it's helping me tremendously to cut straight because I'm not very good. I didn't pass this in kindergarten. And I'm notorious for not being able to cut straight, but with that little tiny grip, it's hardly noticeable. It's a lot easier. So I'm really glad that I did it, that I got it. Thank you for suggesting it to me.
I just love them. And they do cut more than just paper. They're very strong and they cut through zip ties and metal and yeah. They're just wonderful. They are very sharp and be very careful.
Uh-oh.
Okay. The next thing I did.
Okay.
Oh, you know, yeah.
Did you glue it on yet?
No. It's right
okay.
Here.
All right, I'm cut up.
Yes, you are.
Thank you, teacher.
So I'm going to use this bling as my reference. And I'm going to make a circle that is just about that size.
Okay.
So you can go a little bit, yeah, I'll do that one. And I'm going to place it right in the center of my circle as best as I can. Again, you know, like Melissa says, you're doing mandalas. They're not perfect. They're
My
original.
mandalas aren't perfect. But that's me.
If I was using this as a tracing pattern, I would fold the circle in half both ways so it would quarter it and it would tell me exactly where the center is, but we're not doing that here. What I love about this stencil is that it has these hatch marks, so it tells you where the center is this way and the center is that way. So I could have probably used that, but I'm not. Okay, here we are, right?
Is it going to really freak you out if I don't go directly in the center?
You can do whatever you want. I won't look.
All right. You promise?
I promise.
Okay.
Your turn now.
So this is where we're eventually going to put our bling, right? So you're trying to figure out, okay. And also it's good to have the center of the mandala. We're actually, in case you haven't figured that out, and hello to our newer person, what are we creating? We're making a gift tag, and the gift tag, it has a lot of different types of processes on it. So that's a finished one that Cindy is showing you. And so it's painted and it has the bubble wrap and it has stencils and there's a mandala there. And the mandala is, thank you, he says it's nice. The mandala is drawn on a piece of book paper. So that's what we just cut out and that's the point we're at right now. And I'm gonna talk about drawing the mandala. And so it's good to have a circle in the center, and I am gonna try to get this in the center. I am, it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
It will be fine.
The reason why I wanted to put mine to the side is because I cut it wrong, and I this says Mr. Sherlock Holmes, and I thought it might show, but you know what? Most of it's not going to show anyway, and it doesn't matter. It's okay. So at this point, where are we going next?
You're up.
We're drawing the mandala. Okay. So in the example that Cindy showed, it was a flower mandala, and those are fairly simple to draw. So starting with the center point, and I might even make a little circle a little bit smaller here, and I'm gonna have to show
We're going to say what is inspired by Catherine Costa's new book.
Yes. Okay, so I've drawn a circle in the center and then a smaller circle in the middle, and then I'm going to do a flower design around. And like the ones in the examples, there's, I think, 6 petals. So I'm going to start at the center of the center of the center. And I put mine at a point, and I do them freestyle. If you wanted to make dots with you can measure them like Catherine shows in her book. She'll actually put dots at certain degrees, you know, so that she can start each petal at that spot. I'm just kind of guessing where they're going to go.
See,
and then
I
put my go ahead.
I put my stencil over it, and then I can start from and know that that's as far as I want to go to make it equally distanted around the circle.
Yeah, so there's many ways that you can do it, and so having a point is nice because you can just, you know, pull your pencil to that point and feel comfortable with it being, you know, stopping there. Because if you don't have a stopping point, you know, you might end up with something a little off center like that. So
I'm going to do 4 petals today.
You are silly.
I am.
Okay. So I'm going to wait for that
Cool.
to focus. It's not focusing. There's
Yeah,
too much
it's okay. It's because the paper's white.
Okay, so we have some little petals going around. Okay, so what should we put next?
Oh, I liked when you did the scallopy things last week.
What I call the ribbon?
This one.
Oh, okay. So for that one, you just you're gonna connect the petals from one to another. So it's gonna be a scallop, like she called it here, around to each one. So
but you can do whatever one you want. I'm just gonna show them how we can do a mandala together, but we're different.
Oh, all right. Well, the one thing I'm going to do is change over to a pen so that it will show up better.
Yeah.
So I really, you know, I like that idea because it continues with the roundness, and I'm making what I call them an arch. I arch around from one petal to the other, and some of my petals are longer than the other ones, so my arch, in order to bring it back to center, I'm just going to kind of make my arch not like on this one, it's closer in. And this is my mad way of doing it. Cindy would have just fixed the flower, but I like to work with the imperfections. So you could do a second line, and you can make it right next to it, or you can go like Cindy did, or you could extend that line and make it like a crescent. So I'm going to make a crescent going around, and like, whoops, and that one isn't right, but that's okay because that's how I roll. And so, just like Cindy and Catherine have explained, that you can do your own thing, and that's what's the beauty of a mandala. So even though we're doing it together and it's a lot of fun, it's going to come out a little bit different for everybody. I'm going to go ahead and color in these lines.
I don't know what I'm doing, but you know what? It's okay.
Yeah, and then it's deeply personal, it really is. So even when I copy or learn a technique from Catherine's book, what's really nice about it is that she offers so many options, and so the finished one might have a sense of where it began as, emulating hers, but it really, I use my own choices and my own things that I like, and it ends up really being my own. So that's how this will be. So there, now we've got.
Isn't that a design in India? Yes.
Oh, mandalas. Yes, definitely. The history of the mandala is it means circle, and it is very symbolic in India. But you'll find it everywhere if you look at the Catalina tile, or if you look at a doily. It's going to have that circular repetitive design. Okay.
All the coloring books at the hobby stores, craft and hobby stores now, mandalas everywhere.
Speaking of coloring books, if you want to try coloring in my first 25 of my 100 mandala challenge, I have a downloadable PDF on MsMeliz.com. Cindy was the first to print that out, and that's kind of how we met. So if you'd like to try that, it's a fun way to get started. And I colored in hundreds of mandalas and then started to draw my own, and I really changed it. It's wonderful practice. It's very relaxing. So Cindy has gone around and is almost done with her, so I better catch up. And she's going almost all the way to the edge. And of course, such a renegade. Let's see. I'm not
even being very methodical like I usually am, but so now
I'm gonna do a circle around it. So my teacher will be really impressed with my perfect circle. And then I'm gonna do just some lines going straight from the images to the end. Some of my lines might cross, and some might not touch, and some might go over the lines. I like it that way.
Yeah, well, and if you don't like it, too bad. No, it's a piece of paper. Start over.
Yeah, really. This, and there's a time and place, and there's a time where I might want to have it, really specific, and I'm able to do that, but not with people watching and under pressure and without coffee, and so
you should get your coffee. I have my
what?
tea, but it's probably. I said you should get your coffee. I have my tea, but it's probably cold by now.
I would love to, but I hate to miss out on anything. Okay, so here's a very simple design, and you know what? I think I might go in and color some of the center like you did. What else are you doing?
I don't know what to do over here, so I'm just gonna do the zigzaggy, wavy thing, and
yeah, I'm
then
gonna make wavy lines.
I'll probably do a final outline when I get it onto my tag. But yeah, I'm liking that. Does that look too busy?
Let me see. No, I knew you'd get really good at this. That's awesome. I love it. And I love how the letters show through on yours. That's really pretty. You know what? I did this going around totally unintentionally, but doesn't that look a little like spokes of a wheel?
Yes, it does. You got bicycle on the brain.
I do. My theme, having a theme, it is a little bit of subliminal kind of thought processes. I wasn't really planning that, but I already had, my brain knew what we were doing.
That's right.
So I'm gonna make some petals on around the edge, and then I'm done. So with mandala, they say to start in the middle and move out, but that doesn't mean you can't go back. You can go back and fill in parts, and just it's not done until you feel like it's done. And but like Cindy said, you can't unless you want to start over. Once you go and make some changes to it or add to it, you can't undo that usually.
Walter says they look great. Thank you, Walter.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for being here. Would you consider doing this along with us while you're watching if you had the supplies ahead of time? I don't see. I'll see what he says.
He says he's read books with those designs in it.
Oh, well, let's see. I'm going to be giving away on my website this book that Catherine Costa, that I just almost dipped in paint, but this is her mandala guidebook. And it's just came out this week. And it's how to draw, paint, and color expressive mandala art. So this is the one we're going to be giving away on MsMeliz.com. And it has a lot of wonderful techniques and examples of mandalas.
Well, see, this is a clear case, Walter. When I'm doing this in acrylics, you can do this in watercolor. You can take watercolor paper and create a tag. Instead of using the oak tag like I'm using here, the manila folder, you could use it on watercolor paper. And then you can draw your mandala on with the Sharpie and then watercolor your mandala. So I'm one that, somebody had, if I like an oil painting project and I buy a pattern packet and it's in oils and I'm not, I can oil paint, but I'm not an oil painter per se. I can take it and convert it into acrylics. I can take an acrylic pattern and convert it into watercolor. Yes, and that's why I'm here doing this Sunday mornings with Melissa, is to inspire people to try doing it different ways. I've taken acrylic patterns and I've done this oil rouging, which I haven't shown Melissa yet what oil rouging is all about, but we're going to work up to that. But it's really fun.
So I just love it. I want to just introduce Walter here because I'm loving his comments and questions. And even though I'm following him, I didn't really know him off the bat, but he's a professional internet marketing coach and consultant, an SEO specialist, search engine optimization, it's a good thing to know, and a web and mobile designs. He does web and mobile designs, and he dabbles in watercolor painting. So why wouldn't he come to our show? Because that's awesome. So thank you. I'm really happy that you have some ideas, Walter, and I look forward to hearing more of your comments.
And we'd love you to join us on Sunday mornings, and then you can show us, work along with us, but in the medium that speaks to you, and you can then show us when we're done doing our demo. We'll have people on who are working with us to show us what they've created.
Absolutely. And if you don't want to do your artwork on a gift tag or on a clipboard or journal, just do it on a piece of canvas or a piece of paper. That'd be awesome to see what you come up with.
It's awesome. So where are you at, Melissa? We good?
I'm ready to go get a cup of coffee. What is the next step?
Okay. I'm thinking that we're going to decoupage this onto our paper.
Okay.
That sound like a good place to go?
Yes. And then what's next after that?
After that, we're going to color our mandalas.
Okay. I'll be right back.
Okie dokie. So I use a product that's called Decoupage, put out by DecoArt. And This particular product is made specifically for paper. They have all different kinds of product for decoupage product. Like this one here is their regular matte. And you could use this one as well, but I have the one that's specifically, I'm not going to tip it over because I opened it up, but I'll show you in a second. And I'm going to place that on the back of my paper. And then I'm going to put it onto my piece and go over it as well. Make it carried a little bit of the marker, but it'll be fine. So this here is, can you tell? It's for paper. They have one for napkins too, if you want to use decoupaging with napkins, which in the future I want to do one of these, and I decoupage napkin on the tin. And that's what that is. So this has to dry now, so I'm going to mute myself for a second so that I can not annoy everybody. You want to decoupage on both the back and the front. By decoupaging on the back, you adhere it to your base. In this case is the manila tag. And decoupaging over top means you've sealed the paper, and so it's more correctable. You've sealed it so that the ink shouldn't bleed. Shouldn't bleed, operative word here, shouldn't bleed. I am going to go ahead, and I'm still in the pink and green mood. I'm going to take, when all else fails and you can't find three colors that harmonize together like I did the green, introduce a white. Easy peasy. So I got 2 shades of pink and a white. I'm going to start with my bubblegum pink, a light pink value. And let's add a little bit of the white to it. And I'm going to use a round brush. And I don't know if you can see, I'm going to kind of mix those two together, add a little bit of white. So it makes another value pink. And I'm going to do my petals. Now, if you go over the black lines, guess what? We can go back over them after the acrylic paint dries.
Hello.
Hello. Feeling better?
Oh, yes. The cats are happy too because I fed them. So I don't know if anybody's watching realizes that I'm 3 hours after Cindy. So when I got on this morning, it was 6 a.m. It's still just 8 a.m. And for Sunday morning, that's about the time I need to have some coffee. So thank you. That first sip was so good. So you glued it on first? Or
Yeah,
decoupaged?
I decoupaged and blow dried it.
Okay.
And I did the decoupage underneath and on top. And I'm just taking this, I took my lightest pink and I added some white to it. And it is thinned down. So actually it acts like a watercolor in the sense that it's so thin that you can still see the ink through it.
Oh.
I'm not putting it on thick. I want to see those words come through. Whatever your design is, you want to see that design come through your artwork. I'm going to go and take some light, again with some water in the paint, make it thin like a watercolor.
So you did put the Mod Podge or the decoupage over the top of it?
I did.
Okay.
Before
you painted.
Correct. And then I hit it with a blow dryer.
okay.
I mean, I know. I wonder, you know how you have your word of the week or day or whatever?
Yeah, I'm a theme of
I have
the.
my color. My color of the month is pinks and greens.
Oh, that's that. You know what? That's cool.
I just can't seem to break out of this. I don't, Was it is it Monet who had his blue period? Or was that
Yeah.
Renoir? One of those,
Um,
anyways.
yeah. What's his name? Had that gray period, right?
So yeah, we all have. If it's too watery and it's beating up on your piece, just hit your paintbrush onto the paper towel to get rid of that excess
Walter,
water.
your word of the day is awesome. Here, it's for you. Be
Oh,
awesome.
I love that word.
It's for Walter.
Mine's believe. Yes, be awesome. Okay, where am I? Okay, so now, what is my next color? I can go with straight bubble gum, I
That
guess.
pink looks really nice. Okay, well that's drying. I'm gonna figure out what color I'm gonna go with on there.
If you don't like it, you just wipe it off. What's great when you have the decoupage or Mod Podge over top of this, you can wipe off the paint color if you don't like it.
Oh wow.
I love correctability. I love watercolor and I love painting in watercolor, but it's not really correctable. I mean, once it's in the paper, it's there. You can try to correct it with, if you catch it right away, but well, I suppose it doesn't ever really dry, right, Walter? You can always go back and you can play with it.
You're good at correcting mistakes. I'm not. When I try to correct a mistake, I make more of a mess. That's probably why I avoid correcting mistakes. I won't avoid making mistakes, but I usually try to incorporate them. But I have never done this type of artwork before where, it does make a difference in the quality if you make it, as precise as possible. And then people say, wait, you drew that? With mine, they always know that I drew it.
I have heard so many times in craft fairs that I did for 20 years, oh, is that a decal?
Right. Yep.
Like, no, it's me. I did it.
He's very, very good at that. So what do you think of this? Is now I'm introducing another color, and I think I'm going to use this little light forest green that I have. A little glossy green. Do you think that'll be okay?
Yes.
Will it go with it, or should I make it lighter?
I think it goes with it.
Will it be transparent enough on here?
You put water.
Okay.
So every time I go and wash my brush out to pick up a new color, I have water in my brush, a little bit of water in my brush. And when I did this, I sometimes go over the edge, and I'll show you what you do with that after.
Which brush are you using? Is that the liner?
I'm using a round.
A round.
It's a very fat round.
Oh yeah, the liner's totally. Like this one?
Yes.
Okay, I'm excited. I get so excited about painting. It's still a little tacky. I'm gonna hold it in front of the fan.
Next, you'll have to get a dedicated blow dryer.
I know that was on my list, and I could not find what I wanted yesterday. And I have, a house full of blow dryers. I could bring one in, but I didn't do it. I do have a hot lamp.
Let's see. I'm going to go into the dark, the very dark green. And I'm wondering if I put it out here or if I do in there. Mm-hmm. I guess I'm going to put it out here.
I love that glossy finish it gives.
What do you think? Yeah, that kind of makes sense to me.
It looks finished. It looks finished. Okay, I got my water. Got my paint. Oh, just excited. I'm gonna do this part. This green. So Cindy, you said
Yes.
you were going to an event after this?
Yes.
Can you tell?
Someone's 50th wedding anniversary.
Ah.
Uh,
Is it fancy?
I have no idea, but I'm wearing my Minnie Mouse top on.
Oh, okay.
We'll see. When we
It's a
go
Minnie Mouse.
when we go to Disney, we Disney bound.
Yeah.
So when I went to Disney, I wore my to meet Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse. I wore my red and white polka dotted top with my black capris with my yellow flip flops and yellow handbag.
I love it.
So, and I have a Piglet outfit and a Winnie the Pooh outfit, and which I mean, Winnie the Pooh is a red polo shirt with yellow pants.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
It's not like you're dressing up as Winnie the Pooh.
No.
It's like homage to Winnie the Pooh.
Right. So my daughters, they have long hair and they made pugs like this. They put pugs on both sides of their head. Okay, so we have one more color in there to put in, and I don't know what to do with it. Maybe I'll just do this one. And you know what? And if you need another color, just take two colors and add them together.
So we're still working out some kinks, but I think everybody is enjoying seeing the two screens with both of us and the two, creative designs at the same time. So look at that. That is really making a big difference having that that colored in, and see how
Isn't that cool?
picking up the design of that lace stencil.
Isn't that cool?
Yes. I love it. Okay, now I think I'm gonna go with a light brown on the side. Oops. Here.
Yeah, I'm a little like I don't know what to do in that area right now. I suppose if I do the light, go back with the light, but it really wasn't showing up the way I wanted it to. It's okay. It's all good. Right?
Right.
So I'm going to add little green dots. I think. If I add a green dot,
able to.
I like this. This, I think, okay, so now with the fact that, again, that I might have covered some of my black lines with paint, I can go back and I can ink back on top of that paint and it will be fine. So I'm going to mute myself and I'm going to hit it with blow dryer.
Okay.
Actually, I guess I'd have to mute myself on both of them, wouldn't I? Well, see,
Yes.
tell me how annoying this is.
No. I'm just kidding. It was fine. Cindy is using her blow dryer technique.
I knew you were kidding. Okay.
That's because I'm a big kidder.
You're a big kid. Okay, so when I painted this, and for me, because I'm a perfectionist, see how I bled over my mandala with the pink. So guess what I'm gonna do?
No, I don't see. What are you talking about?
There's a little piece that went over top of onto my tag.
Oh my gosh. That's
I know.
horrible. The funny thing is I'm actually blending mine to go over the tag. Why don't we want it to go over to the tag part?
We do, but I'm going to do what I call, I think I did side load. So I picked up some of that dark color on the corner of my brush. I can bring it over. On the corner of my brush. So it's only on half my brush. You see that?
See, this is where you pick up the really awesome techniques because I don't know how to do this kind of thing. Oh, she's going to go around. Oh, goodness gracious. I'm so far behind her. Do you think I should put pink since pink is your color in the middle?
No.
What color?
Put your
Yellow?
color.
Yellow?
In the middle of what? In the middle of yours?
In my flower petals. They're not painted yet.
Why wouldn't you repeat it with the green?
Because it didn't make sense to me, but if that's what makes the best to keep it in those colors, I
It
will do
makes
that.
sense to me because that's the only place you have green, and to have just one random color in the middle of somewhere doesn't make sense to me.
Well, I'm also going to put it around the outside in those little petals.
Right, and you'll be repeating color, and that's what you should do.
All right, so green it is. Green it is.
I've been taught that colors should be repeated, and like if you think of a little ladybug, and the ladybug has to go around the painting, and the ladybug can't jump very far. So if you have a pink here, and he jumps to that pink, and then he jumps to this pink, but you don't want him to jump too far, because if I only had pink here, and then I put pink out here, it's too far to jump. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, I think that's really. I got a stamp that has a ladybug. I'm going to put her on there just so that I can remember that analogy. And I know that I probably sound a little sarcastic, but I'm very serious. I love that. You come up with the best ideas.
It's years of training from the masters.
Yeah, but you know what? A lot of people would say, oh, it's the mathematical equation having to do with this theory of blah, 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 blah. And I to hand ratio of blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? And you're like, imagine a little ladybug that can't jump very far. And I'm like, yes, I get that.
So
Yeah.
if you see how, because I had pink in here and nowhere else on my tag, I did a little splash of pink, a little splash of pink, and then I kept splashing pink as I went up my tag.
Oh, so I could do that with the green.
You can do that with all the colors. Splash them around.
With what?
You can do that with repeating all your color. You can repeat the green up in the tag area where you have these big white spots. You probably want to soften those out with some color. Let's see what else I got going on here. Okay. So I already painted my Believe. So I can stick my Believe on here.
I painted mine too, because I knew you were going to do that.
But I don't have to. Okay, I'm going to hit this with a blow dryer again. And then I can cut this out, but before I do, I'm going to go back with my Sharpie and I'm going to sharpen up some of my lines that I might have lost with the paint.
So in previous episodes of Sparkle and Inspire, during this time I would play music, but it's too hard to scrub the music. YouTube does not like that. I'm going to have to get some kind of, you know, license-free, just background music.
Yeah. I did a poll on Facebook, and I asked painters, do they like videos with music or without music? And it came back without.
Really?
Yeah, they prefer videos without music because not everybody has the same musical taste, and they found it distracting.
That's good to know that, like, because it's artists in particular. Like, I am so used to just people who aren't necessarily artists, but who, you know, feel like that no, well, being a broadcaster and doing a podcast, you want to never have any dead sound. No, you know, you don't want to have any time when there's no sound because it makes people leave.
Right.
But in this case, it's different because of the niche. So that's interesting. That's good to know. Very good to know.
We can talk and we can sing.
Yeah, well, there is, someone say don't sing. I saw somebody online who was doing some DIYs and she didn't have any music. And in fact, her sound was muffled. And in her title, it said, you know, very low sound. And it was on purpose because I guess people don't even like the talking.
Huh.
They just want to watch.
So yeah, I'm just going back over my piece with the marker because the paint has a milkiness to it. Now this is where I go to the outline of my design, the outside, and I can draw a black line around it as well.
I didn't see how you did your color thingy, so I'm really making a mess.
What, my color thingy?
Where you put some splashes of color around.
Oh, it was really technical. I will show you. So this way here, it frames. It frames by having the line, a black line around the outline. The outside frames it. So basically, I took my brush. I took my big brush. I put it in some paint. See how it's watered down again? very
Mhm.
thin, and then you take it and you do this.
Okay.
Real
All
technical.
right. I think it needs
Yes,
spraying.
okay. So I feel like this is very boring. There's no bling. Oh, you know what I didn't do?
What? Oh, you put your stamps on already. I didn't put my stamp on yet.
So this is a little doily. And I didn't add the doily. That's what it was.
Oh, I did do my stamp. It's my bicycle. I got a fancy doily.
Ooh. So I'm going to make mine pink this time.
Except I'm not finished with my...
This is yet another use of, you know, creating a stencil when you don't have a stencil. Let's see how that looks. Obviously, you want one with a lot of holes.
Did you use... Oh, you're using that...
Yeah. Let's try. If the bristles are too soft, they don't go through the holes if the holes are too small. But I might not have good holes here. I don't know. But kind of. You see the outline of it anyway.
Let's see. Oh, you went all the way around like that. Okay, cool. I could do that. I could do that.
Kind of brings a little bit more attention to that area. And then we're going to add some bling. I like that. If you wanted to seal the paper, you could put decoupage over top of the paper and you could seal it. But I'm not going to. I am going to cut it out now, though.
What are you cutting out?
My tag?
Oh, you didn't have it cut out.
No, I just left it on the whole thing.
I was wondering about that. I had one of each. Actually, what I had was two side by side. Let me show you. So I was thinking that I could make two.
Yeah. Yes, you did.
Together
Yeah.
before I cut it out. But what I did is I played around with varying sizes last night. I cut out, smaller ones. And, just played around. And then I made one with a painted background. I don't know. I just played around with that. So
now, if you want to make this so it doesn't bow like that, you see how it's bowing? Because
yes.
I only painted one side. So what you can do is glue them together, and that will make it extra double firm, and it'll be, you know, back to back. On this one, I added a piece of adhesive, spit it out, adhesive lace. Which again, I found at the hobby store. And this happened to be on clearance. But it's a package and it has its own adhesive material on the backing of it. So find out what the length is.
I have this little owl that I want to try to use here.
You cut the length. I know the owl is so cute.
Isn't it cute? Barely shows up and it adds more paint.
Adhere that to the bottom so that the scallop goes a little bit over the edge. Use my tonic scissors. Tonic scissors are great for fabric too.
There, kind of shows up a little bit.
Cut through like butter.
All right, now I have my
Then you can take your hole punch and you punch a hole through there. I loop the ribbon in half. Open up the loop and bring the ties up through.
I'm not happy with that.
What?
I used a sponge and it didn't, it just went through, made a mess.
Less paint. Less paint. Wipe it off on a paper towel so you don't have a whole lot of paint on there. There we go.
Yeah, a little bit better. All right.
And the difference between, I put silver on this one because I added my crown and I wanted to repeat the silver. So I took a silver Sharpie and I added silver around my mandala to bring some silver into it. And twinkles, always sparkle, gotta sparkle, gotta sparkle.
All right, are you rushing to finish at 9? Is that your plan?
Well, there I am. I'm done. Are you done?
I'm catching up. I think
Okay,
I'm
I'll watch you now. If anyone,
All right.
Walter has any questions or anyone has any questions?
So what, so I have believe also, but, or I could do the enjoy the ride as a stencil.
Enjoy the
but I
ride.
can't.
I like enjoy the ride.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Let's see where you are. Okay. So hopefully it will peel off again. I'll put it right here.
Make sure it's dry.
I already stuck it on, so that's.
Too late is what you're saying? Too late?
Too late.
Okay, where's my glitter?
It's pretty sticky.
There it is, my twinkles. I love my twinkles.
I'm nervous. I'm going to blot this a little bit first. Let's see. Yeah, I need more paint. Whoops. Oops. I have a bad feeling about this.
Why?
So I think that I might have smeared. All right.
Yeah, I am believed at the heart, and I don't want to.
It did smear a little, but that's okay. Because
Okay.
my artwork always looks like kindergarten next to hers, but I'm going to work on it and make a perfected one.
Well, I see the difference between what you did at the bottom and what you did at the top of the doily part. So you see less is better.
Oh yeah, that was a mistake.
No water. No water in the sponge, and less paint on the sponge. And then it will be fine. But you what you could do is you could take some of that blue and the doily and the part of the top part that's all green blob. To me it looks like a dark avocado green, but anyways, the brown blob. If you take the doily and put it back over top of that area, and you take some of the blue or even the light green, and you sponge it on top of that, then your doily pattern will show up.
Okay, so I have another idea.
Yes, Walter, it would. Yes.
What did he say?
That would make an awesome Christmas tag for gifts. I mean, this is a jumbo tag. You can buy these type of tags at Staples, Office Max, whatever. And this is a great size for that kind of thing. I don't think you want to go any smaller, but you can make this decorative for gifts any time of the year. Tim McGraw has a great song that I called Stay Humble and Kind. I like that. I like Tim McGraw. I'm not a country music listener, but I can just look at him and watch him sing. I know, is that kind of too girly of me? TMI?
So I'm going over with the decoupage.
Why?
And I'm going to go over with my glitter.
Oh, you are going to do that. And you're going to have a glittery stencil too. Doily.
Okay, it's already gold. Okay.
You have to lift them both up at the same time and knock off the excess. Lift them up, lift the tag up underneath it, keeping the doily down on the, you know what I mean? Like a sandwich? Yeah. There you go. There you go.
Well, looks awful.
I'd have done a lighter value color.
See how it picks up that green though? Oh, I love it. I love that
Now
glitter.
you have a rainbow of green. It's cool. I mean, it's still cool. You know what it looks like? You know what it looks like through the camera, Melissa?
What?
An eye. Looks like
oh yeah, it has kind of an oval thing happening.
You see it?
Yeah. I thought you were going to say a dirt road for the bicycle to drive through.
No, it looks like the spokes of a bicycle tire, but it's an eye. And the glitter looks like the eyelashes or the eyeshadow to the eye. It is pretty cool.
All right, well, it's just the beginning. I'm going to work on it some more today.
You can go back to the bubble wrap and you can add some light green bubble wrap over top of your brown bubble wrap images. You can
this is my bling.
Oh, cool.
And what else did I have? I have a pearl I could put up here. Oops, not sticking. The stick came off. What else? Keep talking. Tell me what else
I'm thinking, if you had ribbon or lace or some kind of trimming for the bottom, that bling I showed you. Let's see what I got here. Obviously, I would not necessarily, but this stuff here.
Oh, right.
I could easily, even though I have my pink underneath it, I could still add this, and it shows better if I go like this. See?
Yeah, look at that. Whoa, that's fancy. That would make a great door hanger. I think these could be door hangers too.
Right, right.
Big enough hole in it.
So maybe that's what I'll have to do to that one. And they have all kinds of this stuff in the upholstery section of your Hobby Lobby or fabric store. Joann's. I go to Joann's a lot, and no, mostly Joann's. I get my ribbons and lace. So what you doing? Yeah, but Michael's doesn't have that bling.
Oh.
They don't do upholstery.
That's right. Oh my gosh, that Michael's was killing me. My Michael's. Whoops.
What you doing?
I'm messing it up even more. I was trying to get back the ride.
Oh, okay.
But it didn't work. Okay, so that's okay. It's beautiful. It's fun. And I had a fun time trying to keep up with you.
Put it over in the, put it down so I can see the whole thing on the table. To go the other way. There you go. Isn't that cool? It almost looks like tire tracks, like bicycle tire tracks.
Yeah, it does.
That is pretty neat. If you had some of this bling in the blue color and it was hanging down, blue and green, that'd be cool.
It's just so much fun, and there's so many things you can do with it. So I did have my blue ribbon that I thought would go with that. My rainbow of colors, as you say. I've got some sequin ribbon. It's like
so basically, if you put a hole in the top like this, you can take a small snippet of both of those ribbons and you can tie it through there and have two kinds of ribbons tied up through there.
I also had this.
Cool.
That I thought maybe even just like a stamped out shape, like a. Here.
Okay, I'm being summoned.
You gotta go? Okay, I just wanted to show you this one thing.
Oh, yeah.
If it would work. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. Next week.
Yep.
Walter likes blue and green. Blue and red goes together well. Yes, it does.
Yeah, and blue and orange. So, and of course, we need to do a purple month in your honor.
A purple month?
Because you like purple.
I know, but I'm in a pink mood.
I know, that's why I said later in another month we could do purple, but I got a couple of purple things. I got the spray ink.
I saw that in the Snapchat, and I'm like, ooh, I didn't even tell you to go get any. I have some too. And I do love that purple metallic. Yeah, I love that one.
Purple metallic. So that's for when you go for a purple phase. I am prepared.
And what's your favorite color?
Red.
Reds? Okay.
Red and like a deep like wine red or bright red.
Those, yeah, the deep burgundy ones, cranberry, whatever, is great for the fall.
Yes. Yes.
And Christmas.
They're my favorites.
Oh, good. We're going to have so much fun. And so thank you, Walter, for sticking with us and anyone who's watching on the replay. And I hope you enjoyed this. Oh, you know what? Before I sign off, I didn't finish it. Okay.
What are you going to do now?
Well,
make it even better.
That technique that I told you, it's called side load, where I load only the corner of the brush. I put only on the corner of the brush and I work it out. And then all this finishes off the edge. So I'm going to do that. But yes, this is That's how I finish off my edges so it doesn't look so plain. And I would have put it on the bottom, but I already put my lace there, so I can't do that.
So it's pink that we're doing this today. Is your pink day?
Well, it's been my pink week, really, my pink month. It's okay. It's all good.
So Cindy is all about inspiring us with her art and with her techniques and her creative ideas. And I'm a little bit more about the bling and the sparkle. So that's why our show is Sparkle and Inspire. So I just wanted to.
So, Walter, I want to just say, Walter, have a great day. And if you do create something this week, inspired, we inspired you to create something this week, please come back next week and share it with us. And at the after show, you can pop on, or at the end of our show, we can still be recording. It doesn't have to be after show. You can show us what we inspired you to create. So that would be really awesome.
Show off some of your work and see if maybe you can inspire us.
Right. Cool. So next week we're going to do a clipboard, but at any rate, so I'm going to sign off now. Thank you so much. Thank you, Melissa. Thank you, Walter. Thank you, others.
Thank you, Cindy. Have a great day, and I can't wait to show you what I finish. And here's a little sparkle and inspire for you.
Take care, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.